closest in Thunder playoff postgame. Saying hello again to those watching on the Thunder app, Griffin Stations, KSBI in OKC, KQCW in Tulsa, and the Valley Sports app. Game 6 of the Western Conference Semifinals between the Thunder and the Mavs in the books, with Dallas winning 117-116, marking the conclusion of a hard-fought series and an impressive season by this young Thunder team. Alongside Royce Young, I'm Paris Lawson. And Royce, as you look back over this game, it is such a tough, heartbreaking loss for the Thunder and a conclusion to this season. But you have to commend the fight and the effort that we saw, not just in Game 6, but throughout this series overall.
Yeah, absolutely, Paris. You know, even just rewinding to Game 5, where the scoreboard didn't reflect the way that the Thunder felt like that they played in that game, and then spinning forward into this Game 6, obviously a tough environment. You're on the road, you're in an elimination game, and the Thunder played a fantastic basketball game. Some literal bad bounces just did not go their way to close this one out, but incredible fight by the Thunder on the road.
Great fight by this young team, so resilient as always. Let's go ahead and send things over to the press room to hear from Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault.
Our attacks again tonight were good. You know, we forced them to zone us. We forced them kind of to plan B, and so we put a lot of pressure on them with our offense tonight and made a lot of progress there.
Mark, the foul on Shai, just what did you make of the ruling at the end?
I don't have as good of a replay as there was on TV, so, you know, I just, you know, he got ball, you know, and then obviously got arm as well. You know, I thought he might have gotten the ball first, and just in that situation, you know, even without leaving myself a timeout, I thought any chance that we could take points off the board and reverse that call would be.
Leaky pipes. Oh no! Toilets clogged. Oh crap! Repairs, installs, relax, we do it all.
Merrill Water and Drain. Any plumbing issues, anytime. Quality plumbing for quality people, where we treat you like family. So relax and call or visit our website.
Watch this. Witness what happens to this woman's bags under her eyes in an actual time lapse in just minutes. The problem will disappear before your eyes with a revolutionary topical formulation that works in just minutes, and the effects will last for hours. Over 1 million people are using this topical technique to visually reduce puffiness and bags, even fine lines and wrinkles on the face and forehead. Introducing Plexiderm. Jump on board and say yes to this amazing $14.95 Plexiderm trial.
No, I'm not going to make commentary on the.
Splash into summer with your chance to win a swimming.
A lot of games and be the 1 seed in a really tough conference, and we had everything we needed. You know, obviously tonight and in this series they were better, but I wouldn't look at that as an indictment on anything other than, you know, it's painful, obviously. You know, we thought we had the chance to accomplish something special, but, you know, we can turn this pain into growth and use this as an investment as we continue to move forward.
Well, are you just satisfied with the way you guys force, you know, players like Derrick Jones and P.J. Washington to just beat you over the course of the series?
Yeah, I think, you know, that's why they're here, you know, is they have a good team. They have players that put a lot of pressure on you. We have respect for those players, obviously, but we just thought in the series, you know, forcing Doncic and Irving into crowds and forcing other guys to have to make plays was the best course. And I thought we executed that. I thought defensively we played a series that was worthy of winning it. I thought in games 2 through 4, offensively, that's where we struggled, but I thought the team did a really good job. I mean, you have to grow inside these series, you know, because the other team is, you know, stress testing you and vice versa. And I thought our guys did a really, really good job within the series of making the necessary adjustments to how we needed to attack, and obviously made progress on that end of the floor in games 5 and 6, but it just wasn't enough.
Mark, Shai was tremendous all night. Obviously, the lasting moment kind of ending in a cruel way with that foul, but how do you just kind of put his night in perspective and what he did for you guys this series?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he's a big-time player that hasn't gotten to prove that on this stage yet, and I thought that was loud and clear over the course of the postseason. And then tonight, I thought he played very well. You know, obviously got to his spots. I thought the pace of the offense really helped him out, helped the whole team out. He made big shots. The 3 he hit to cut into the lead late was a big-time shot. And found his teammates again. You know, I mentioned that the last time we were in this room at the end of Game 4. He found guys, and they hit. Tonight, he trusted those plays throughout the night. You know, so obviously nothing but positive things to say.
Sorry. Even in the loss, were you impressed by how you guys were able to sort of sustain throughout their repeated runs and crowd got into it and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, we've done that all year. This is kind of, you don't accomplish, what we accomplished. I mean, we didn't accomplish everything, obviously, but you don't accomplish what we accomplished without tremendous resilience and the ability to throw punches with our talent and with the way we play, and then take punches. And tonight we had to take a lot of punches, and we did, and gave ourselves. I mean, we took a lead into the last, 20 seconds of that game.
You mentioned taking points off the board with that challenge. How close were you to not challenging it, considering if it's not overturned, you only have 2.5 seconds left to go the full length of the court?
Yeah, I mean, if it was like a clear as day foul, I obviously wouldn't have challenged it and held the timeout. But I just think, again, in that situation with even if you advance the ball with 2.5 seconds at a deficit, your chances of scoring are very low. And so given that probability and then the probability of the challenge in that situation, protecting a lead, I thought it was too tempting not to get. If there was any chance that we could have wiped that off, I thought it was worth it.
The Chet and Lou both have 5 fouls. Just continuing to trust them. What did you think about the way, despite the loss, the way that they were able to not pick up their 6th foul?
Yeah, I mean, they continue to compete. We've done that all year. These guys understand the philosophy there. They understand they have to keep competing. I thought those guys did. We were able to squeeze all the minutes out of the game for those guys, and they played well when they were out there.
You mentioned kind of maybe losing the series offensively in kind of the middle part, but, learning through it. What do you feel like, are the offensive lessons that you learned in this series?
It's just like different attacks, and there's only so many ways you can get played. There's not a million ways that you can get played. There's a limited number of them, and we've seen them all this year. And as time goes on, you get more and more comfortable attacking them. And obviously in a playoff series, they all get thrown at you. Whatever vulnerabilities you have, the other team's going to try to expose. And we tried to do that to Dallas and New Orleans. They tried to do it to us. And that's how you learn, as a team. It's painful, obviously, to lose a series. But that's how you learn as a team, is you go through these things. And you've seen it now. We go back. We start to develop those attacks. The players have a better understanding. We, as a coaching staff, have a better understanding. And then as you see them more and more, you solve the problems quicker. And I think if you look at the teams that have had long runs of success and a lot of continuity, they're really hard to trick, and that's a process, and we have to, embark on that process.
I know it's a minor thing in hindsight, but what went into the changing up Shai's substitution pattern there in that first?
Just trying to maximize his minutes. They had kind of loaded the start of the second quarter. They actually changed tonight too, so they didn't do what we were anticipating. But they had put Doncic and Irving in to start the second with a pretty potent lineup, and just the idea of getting him out there during that time so we can continue to have a guy that can really move the scoreboard. That was the idea.
Mark, you mentioned lessons. Just as far as this team, you've been with all of them through 82 games.
You like the first play?
Well, did you design the one with Dub getting the tap out?
Yeah.
That was
a trick play.
Very good.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. But, the whole season you threw me off. 82 games, seeing these guys in a different context, did you learn anything about them being in these high leverage environments, like games like this?
I mean, we learned a ton about our team. It sucks losing, the last game of the season. And for me personally, coaching this team, I've said all year, has been a total pleasure. And it's really sad for that to finish. For me, I love coaching this team. I'd love nothing more than just to go to practice tomorrow with them. They're an absolute pleasure. But what was your question?
Just about what you learned about the roster.
Sorry, I had to get that in there. I think it's painful right now, but if you zoom out and you just look at like year-over-year progress from the beginning of the season till now, progress from the beginning of the playoffs till now. We're just a more seasoned, more matured, more connected, better, tougher, smarter. We're everything, through the course of the season. We talk a lot about growing through experiences. I thought we did that, to the highest degree. And it yielded, obviously, a very successful season, despite not, having a little more success in winning this series.
Despite losing the series 4-2, total points was 636, 636. hearing that, does give you any solace that you guys are just right there?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, when I credit Dallas and I say, they were the better team in the series, that was marginal. I didn't think that was domination by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm tipping my hat to them, and they deserve it. But, yeah, we were right there. And, I think, again, that type of that yields a lot of pain when you go through that and you're that close. But we have to, turn that into, you got to reinvest that into improvement, individually, collectively. And that's, if you look at any great team, any great player, that's what happens over time. They stumble in these situations. It's very painful, but they learn, they reevaluate, they grow, and they get stronger through these experiences. And that's our challenge now.
Mark, I'm just curious, with such a young team, how do you think they're handling this kind of, defeat and knowing the season's over at this point?
Yeah, I think the age of the team is so tangible. So people drive to that a lot, but they're handling it like any team would. I mean, this is an ambitious team, and it's a competitive team, and it's a connected team, regardless of age. This team has qualities of great teams. And one of those qualities is, very pain, a lot of pain when you lose. So that's a locker room that's feeling it right now, as it should be, because we laid it all out there in the series and in the game tonight. But that has nothing to do with age. That's just, these guys are competitors, and they've competed together all year. They competed together tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Yep.
Thanks, Mark.
Just an incredible perspective there from Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault. And he brings up a really good point, talking about how when you open yourself up to competition, part of the cost of doing business is opening yourself up to the pain of losing. And these are competitors that are out here on the court each and every night. And so, yes, of course, they're feeling the pain. But the goal for the Thunder now is to turn that pain into growth.
Absolutely. If you even think just back to last year, Paris, and the team going into the play-in and what they went through in that experience, winning on the road in New Orleans, then losing on the road in Minneapolis, and building upon that into this season. So that's what it's all about. You build on these experiences and hope that that breakthrough eventually comes.
All right, let's send things back over to the press room now and hear from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the podium.
Moments in games like tonight, it doesn't get much better.
What was your view on the foul late that kind of decided it?
I shouldn't have fouled him. We talk about it all year, the little things that go into winning games, and being disciplined, and it sucks. Obviously, if I had the moment back, I wouldn't have fouled him. And just let him make or miss the shot. But yeah, basketball, you win some, you lose some, you make mistakes.
Have you seen the replay?
No, I can't look at it. But they looked at it, and I assume I fouled him if they looked at it and still didn't overturn it.
When you say you can't look at it, what do you mean?
I don't want to look at it.
Do you think that'll be permanent, and you just don't want to look at it ever, or?
I just want to look at it. I fouled him, clearly, because they reviewed it, and I fouled him, so there's no need to look at it.
Shai, coming off of last game where you got so many good looks, they didn't go down. Tonight, they did for you more. I mean, how did it, I guess, operate for you guys to just continue trusting what you had put together last game, knowing that if you stuck with it, you'd get different results to give yourself a chance on the road?
Yeah, it's basketball. You make some, you miss some. You make the right play, the wrong play. But as long as you have the right intentions, and you're doing the right things out there on the floor, good things more often than not will happen to you and happen for your team. And it's been like that for us, and that's why we had the year we've had. That didn't go our way sometimes throughout the series, but that's what it's about, getting better from those opportunities.
Could have been the game-winning bucket for you guys as a lob to Chet from you. Obviously, you guys all season long have worked on some of these things and rhythm plays. What was it like, getting to do that here tonight? And it seemed like you guys were able to find Chet over the top quite a bit.
Yeah, it definitely opened things up for us tonight. Kind of Chet being that dunker, making plays at the rim. Obviously one of his many gifts, but we were definitely able to exploit that tonight.
So just knowing all it took tonight just to get to that point where the foul, the lob, everything, just what does it feel like knowing that the season ended on free throws?
Yeah, it sucks. You wish you could take the moment back, but it's not the way life works. You can't. You just have to learn from it, and I will definitely learn from it.
For you personally, just what do you feel you proved maybe to yourself in this series?
Nothing. My goal was to win the series. Didn't win the series. And that's that, pretty much.
Is it hard for you at this point to take a step back and think about how bright the future still does look, or how do you kind of view what this season means for the long term?
Yeah, we can feel it. We definitely took a step in the right direction this year, to say the least. Now this moment stings. You don't ever want to lose, but there's definitely some good things that come out of it. And moments like this is what makes champions. Guys get better.
Wasn't the most shots you've taken in a game this series, but did you come into this game with like empty the clip mindset?
Not at all. I just came into the game trying to play my game, play the right way, and play aggressive.
Total points in this series, despite the series loss was 636. Have any solace to knowing that y'all were right there in the series?
Say again, sorry?
The total points in the series was 636 through all 6 games.
Okay.
So does it have any solace knowing that you guys were right there, despite losing 4-2?
Nah, not really. Still stinks.
Shai, you were a young guy in your first year, rookie season with the Clippers. You played a lot of minutes. You have two guys in Kaysen and Chet who play a lot of minutes for you in this series. Can you just talk me through, evaluate how you think they did?
Amazing. They've been good all year. They haven't felt like rookies with their play on the court. Both those guys are so poised, so mature, and obviously have done tremendous things for our group. We took a big leap this year, and those two have a big hand in it.
It seemed to be Mark's opinion that this series was maybe lost, middle of the series offensively, when you guys kind of struggled to solve their defensive scheme. What do you think you and this group kind of learned through those struggles offensively?
Yeah, I guess how to course correct, and the best teams are able to figure out the issue and fix the problem at a really fast time, and that's what allows you to ultimately win series and win games, whether it be in quarters or in games in a series. You see it all over the league. You just saw it with Denver, their ability to course correct and kind of get the car back on the road. But it's a learning experience for all of us. This is all of our first time being in a series together, so we'll all learn from the experience and get better.
Shai, what was that feeling like just as you see the last shot and miss and just kind of walking off the floor?
It sucked. And the way it ended, it kind of solely being my fault with the three. It sucks. My teammates did so much throughout the night to get us in the position that we were with that last position. And little details kind of nipped me in the butt, but I'll learn from it.
Shai, you seem like such a highly motivated person. Does this series add any more motivation to you?
Absolutely. I've always found the most motivation when I lose. You learn the most when you lose. So yeah, for sure. We lost 4 out of 6 games. I don't know if we've done that all season. Didn't feel good, but yeah, I'm definitely motivated. We'll learn from the experience for sure.
Say the lob to Chet with 20 seconds left. I imagine that'll probably get swept under the rug. History's ours now. But when it happened, what was going through your head in that moment, in that sequence?
Get a stop. That was it. Get a stop. Whatever it takes.
Did it feel like that was a heavy blow to the game, to the game's just flow?
You found me?
No, the lob. Just him finishing the lob, him catching it with one hand, just everything in that moment.
Yeah, it felt good, but I was so on to the next, just get a stop. I didn't really get to soak it up, but big time catch and finish by Chet for sure.
The last one, go ahead. This is the last one for Shai. Felt like every shot was extra heavy down the stretch. Did it feel like that for you guys out there, or where you just have that mindset of shot goes in, get a stop?
Yeah. When you're in the moment, it doesn't feel as heavy. you're on to the next thing to try to win the next possession and ultimately win the game. But yeah, things are obviously heightened in games like this.
Thank you, Shai.
That was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander following tonight's game against the Dallas Mavericks, and so impressed as always by his maturity and incredible perspective after what he admitted to be just a really heartbreaking and tough loss in this series. And you have to commend him too for taking a step back and having some perspective over recognizing that this team has taken a lot of strides over the course of this season as a whole. They're a better team now than they were at the start of the year.
Absolutely. It's kind of like what we were just talking about, Paris, with just reflecting even back to the way that last season finished and what the team was able to apply from that. Shai specifically, he talked about being more motivated. Of course, you're more motivated when you lose than when you win. It's a natural, I think, emotion to go through, and that same sort of thing happened last season. They applied it to this year, and so they'll do the same sort of thing. Shai specifically. I also was just incredibly impressed with just Shai's maturity and composure in that situation there. So many players, I think, I've covered the NBA, Paris, for like 16 years now. I've been in a lot of press conferences, and so many players, when you have an emotional game and a difficult call that goes against you in that situation, a lot of players can react emotionally and kind of speak out of emotion rather than kind of be able to zoom out themselves and talk just kind of matter-of-factly. But Shai just kind of talked about it matter-of-factly, and to me that just speaks to just, again, his uncommon maturity and ability to just kind of assess and analyze situations the way that he does.
Just so even-keeled and steady, but highly motivated and competitive, just like the rest of this Thunder team. All right, stick with us here on Thunder Playoff Postgame. We've got more coming your way right after this short break.
Education as a whole, it's not just subject to what's in the building and the brick and mortar building. It's everybody in the community
fighting for our students, fighting for our teachers, and fighting for our profession.
We're molding young minds into growing the next generation, and I think that's awesome.
I wanted to be a part of the school, not only as just a teacher, but as an active leader,
where many voices become one.
This is where we're supposed to pick up the new employee. Are you sure this is where he lives? That's what it says. Huh. Seems like an odd place. Huh. What is that racket? Hey, what are you doing? Get in the van. Did you shower today, Rubble? When's the last time you shaved? Airco Service is proud to be the official service company of the Thunder.
Welcome back to downtown Dallas and American Airlines Center. We are here on Thunder Playoff Postgame, recapping all the action here from a hard-fought, intense, highly competitive series between the Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavs winning Game 6 tonight and ultimately taking the series. But one quote that we heard from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in his postgame press conference was that moments like this make champions. That's not something you hear often, especially after a heartbreaking loss like the Thunder endured here tonight. But Royce, as you heard that, what were the things that went through your mind?
I mean, it's an incredible line from SGA, and to me, Paris, when you think about teams that go through these situations, of course, this young Thunder team, #1 seed in the West, had an unbelievable year, and we should all appreciate the season that this young group had. Again, the uncommon element of it is what enabled it, and everybody thought that this team had a legitimate chance to go all the way. But at the same time, you just look at, they were fighting against basically 100 years of NBA history. They were the youngest #1 seed ever in NBA history, youngest team to ever win a playoff series. So, of course, they would have been the youngest team to ever go to a conference finals as well. So, NBA history says that you have to go through these sorts of experiences. You think about teams that are in these situations right now, whether it's the Boston Celtics, Denver Nuggets, the Golden State Warriors through their run. They went through these painful circumstances to get through them, to eventually learn from them. It makes me think of something Coach Mark even said. The more you go through these things, the harder it is to trick you. And that's what this Thunder team had to learn throughout this series. You think back to those games 2, 3, 4, and the adjustments that Dallas made. Maybe next season the Thunder are able to adjust a little bit more quickly, able to problem solve a little bit more quickly because they've seen those pages before. So it's hard. The emotions are raw, but sometimes it is a necessary element to building a great team.
And we even heard from SGA that you learn more from losses than you do in wins. And as we've seen all season long, historically throughout this season for OKC, every experience is one that they absorb like a sponge and use it moving forward. And that's why they're a better team now. part of this year. I want to talk about, if we're going to talk about guys going through things for the first time, how about the rookies stepping up throughout this series? Chet Holmgren with an incredible game here tonight, a massive lob dunk here from SGA at the final moments of this game. What was your perspective of their contributions throughout the series?
Unbelievable. I mean, for Chet Holmgren, 9 of 9 from two-point range in this game, Paris. The way that he stepped up and competed throughout the entire series, throughout the postseason, the way that he protected the paint, basically eliminated almost anything from the Dallas guards at the rim. He did the same thing in the New Orleans series. An incredible rookie season from Chet Holmgren. Casey Wallace, think about the experience that he got out there guarding Luka Doncic, guarding Kyrie Irving, big spots, big moments. Casey was a critical element to winning that Game 4 on the road here. And then, think about a guy like J-Dub even. He's a second-year player. So, all these guys, I think the Thunder, if I remember right, Paris, I think they got 4 total points because Kenrich 2 points tonight. I think they got 4 total points, all by Kenrich, from players 25 or older in this entire postseason, which is an incredible thing.
That says a lot about this group and just how these guys work together. And those guys, Chet, Kaysen, absorbing all of this experience as well. And you saw them grow from game to game, from series to series, as well as they were getting more minutes out there on the floor. Another guy I want to talk about, we talked about his post-game presser, but I want to talk about his game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with another 30-plus point performance here tonight, and he just looked so smooth, calm, collected, especially down the stretch of this game offensively.
I mean, when the Thunder needed something, he stepped up and he delivered it. And 14 of 25 from the floor, the efficiency was there for Shai. Again, it was what he's done all season long. Was able to knock down, I think, 3 of 4 from 3 in this one. Really had that element of his game working. Again, you think about just the progression elements of Shai. That's an area that he, I think, developed throughout this season. But again, will probably continue to add to his game because that step back 3 becomes even more and more lethal. It solves a lot of problems when teams are playing you specific ways. But also just the floor game. I think he had 8 assists in this game.
Yeah.
He did basically that throughout the series. Shai is seeing basically the kitchen sink from a defensive scheme. They are game planning entirely to try to slow him down, to wall off the paint, to take things away. And he didn't get a lot at the rim. The Dallas bigs, Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, did an incredible job of protecting the bucket all series long. So SGA had to adapt and evolve and made plays in other areas and was just magnificent throughout this entire series, but especially tonight in this game.
Well, speaking of game plan, I want to talk about something that we talked about a little bit before the show, and that was the lineups that we saw from OKC tonight. Obviously, they went through a lot of them tonight. It felt like there were subs basically every other whistle out there on the floor. But really good wrinkle there by Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault to throw a lot of different looks at Dallas throughout the night and just kind of generate different looks out there offensively.
Absolutely. Again, a different starting 5, something unusual that we've seen. So, with Isaiah Joe, and the ball moved really well, but I also thought the second unit, Josh Giddey, came in. There was some great snappy ball movement when Giddey came in. He got the ball at the elbows a little bit, was able to spray out the shooters. Again, the Thunder shot the ball better tonight. I think that had something to do with what you're mentioning, Paris, just that kind of tinkering with lineups, and then the double big finish. Basically the Thunder did almost everything right throughout this game to win the game, Paris. And, it just makes me think about just some of those tough bounces. The Kyrie Irving 3 is the one that sticks in my mind, where he missed the shot and it bounced straight up, somehow goes through the bucket. But again, that's just the breaks of a playoff game.
That's just sometimes how the ball bounces. The Thunder going to use this experience, though, to grow and get better like they always do. All right, we got more coming your way here on Thunder Playoff Postgame. Don't go anywhere. We'll hear from some more players when we come back after this.
For many homeowners, the unexpected cost of replacing or even repairing their air conditioner can be overwhelming. We offer multiple financing options on new equipment or even repairs.
Financing solutions with no money down. Another reason to let Airco be.
Education as a whole, it's not just subject to what's in the building and the brick and mortar building. It's everybody in the community.
Fighting for our students, fighting for our teachers, and fighting for our profession.
We're molding young minds into growing the next generation, and I think that's awesome.
I wanted to be a part of the school, not only as just a teacher, but as an active leader, where many voices become one.
When the power goes out in your neighborhood, don't get left in the dark thanks to a home generator. And a new whole home generator can be installed at your home for as little as $150 a month.
Let Airco prepare your home for the next power outage.
Welcome back to downtown Dallas and Thunder playoff postgame. The Thunder with a heartbeat end to their series here tonight, losing to the Dallas Mavs in Game 6. Let's send things over to the podium now and hear from Thunder rookie Chet Holmgren.
Extremely competitive, and
both teams making plays, throwing punches. It's great, and obviously it stings a lot right now, but there's definitely a sense of being proud for all the guys around me and what they've been able to accomplish this season.
Chet, you guys have talked all postseason about getting better through a series. Offensively, it seemed like the last couple games you guys did take steps towards. You really capitalize on alley-oops. Is that something you guys can walk away, feeling momentum for heading into next year?
Again, it really stings right now. It's kind of tough to be thinking about carryover and momentum going into anything right now, but the season's over. Sounds weird saying that, but that doesn't mean like we're done. We know we have a long ways to go, so I think everybody's gonna get their stuff together in the near future, and then get right back to work, preparing for next season.
Sorry, Chet. With everything that led to those final 20-ish seconds, the lobs, the constant runs back and forth, just for the season to end on free throws, just how are you processing that?
Again, we can always look at the last play of a game and overreact to that, but we had plenty of opportunity throughout the whole game and down the stretch on other plays. Specifically, I remember ones that are at fault of mine where I could have been better, and those plays didn't go our way, obviously, and it led us to be in a position where that last play had the significance that it did. But we can't look at a single play and try and say that's the reason that the whole game went the way it did. So,
just the lob with 20 seconds, Shai throwing it to you, throwing it down with one hand. I know that play now, history might sweep that under the rug, but in the moment, what did that feel like?
There wasn't a lot of emotion in it. It was mostly just trying to finish the play and put our team in a position to win the game. I think that gave us a 1-point lead, which, I like that position for us. In any game down the stretch, credit to the Mavs on, making a play.
Shai took ownership for that foul at the end, was hard on himself, but can you just sort of put into words how he led you guys not only in this game but this series?
I don't know if words kind of do that justice. I feel like everybody's seen what he did not only in this series, this game, but throughout the whole season. And like I said, the significance of one play, is kind of put under a microscope because it decided the game. But, without him, we're not even up one with 12 seconds left. So, again, I'm looking at myself, all the plays down the stretch where, I was either half second late or didn't make this play or, didn't do that. So, I put that one on me. I'm going to hold myself accountable and, again, hell of a season by Shai. And, the rest of the guys in the locker room, too. Everybody stepped up and played a huge role in what we were able to accomplish. And, we got a long ways to go.
What do you think will be your kind of lessons learned from these playoffs?
There's a lot. I said this morning in a shoot around that nothing's guaranteed, so you just got to go out there and lay it all on the line, and then you just got to live with the results. As simple as that sounds, you don't want to have any regret on why an outcome came out the way it did.
You guys went double big down the stretch, which you didn't do a ton in the series, but did kind of seem to work at times. Do you like that look?
Yeah, like you said, it worked at times for us, and we went to that down the stretch, I'm assuming, for rebounding purposes, and again, credit to the Mavs, they were able to still make plays and come away with the win.
Chet, how much will you remember this moment, for the rest of your career, maybe, you know, just kind of as a driving force, you know, to keep pushing forward?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to remember it. Always, you know, it's hard to tell what you remember more, the wins or the losses, you know, but this definitely stings. It doesn't feel great. So, you know, it's definitely kind of a driving force to not want to feel this feeling again. So, and nobody wins 12 straight championships. So, like, you know, the chances that I'm going to feel this at some point again, you know, is definitely there. But, you know, I'm going to do everything in my power to, you know, avoid this feeling again.
Anybody else? Thanks, Chet.
Thank you, Chet.
Yeah, great stuff there from rookie Chet Holmgren following tonight's game. Again, great perspective, great maturity, especially from a guy going through this for the very first time. Royce, what are your biggest takeaways from this guy? We talked about how impressive that him and Cason Wallace have been all season long, but to hear him talk postgame kind of adds to it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, spend the last couple of years with Chet. One of the things that's so obvious about him is he is a competitive beast.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody that I think loves the spirit of competition more than Chet Holmgren. So, you know, he even talked about just kind of like the idea that it's hard to kind of wrap his mind around the fact that the season is over, because that guy just lives to compete in basketball games. But, you know, again, I think that, you know, Chet, like a lot of these guys, Paris, they're very calm and composed and able to reflect to some degree about the season that they had.
Yeah.
Chet talking about the special player that SGA is and all the guys in the locker room and the progress that they all made. But him specifically, I mean, that's something I'm sure Chet will just kind of probably take a deep breath in. The guy played in every single game.
Every single one.
This year. I mean, that's just an unbelievable
After
achievement.
missing the entire previous season.
And, you know, a lot of people doubted Chet. They wondered, you know, would he ever be able to do that sort of thing? And he responded again. I think that just shows you the kind of mettle that Chet Holmgren has. But to step up in the way that he did, competed throughout this postseason, made big plays. That lob that gave the Thunder the lead was an unbelievable finish. So Chet Holmgren, you know, I'm sure that as this one kind of the sting starts to wash away, hopefully he can reflect a little bit about the special rookie season that he had.
Yeah, just a little inside look here. Coach Daigneault calls him a basketball junkie, and typically when we interview him, there's not a lot of times that he doesn't have a basketball in his arms. So this guy is just all about competition and competing and hooping as well. And Royce, we saw a lot of lobs tonight to Chet. That was something that we didn't see a ton throughout the series. What was your perspective on that, and what kind of opened that up for the Thunder tonight?
I think the space on the floor, but also just the Thunder really kind of getting that blender going, playing the advantage basketball that we've seen from them so much this season. And, you know, it was J-Dub a lot throughout the regular season that was often the guy setting up Chet. SGA had the one in the big spot tonight, but, you know, it's just one of those things where that you put a team in rotation, they're trying to communicate, and it just pulls that Dallas big out just the little bit that you need, because Chet Holmgren's a huge guy, and you just got to throw it up there, and he can go up and get it. So that was a nice adjustment from the Thunder, but also I think it was just leveraging the defense the way that the Thunder are so good at, but with the ball movement, the drive, the kick, attacks, that they were able to really get themselves into a lot more in this game tonight.
To your point, Coach Daigneault after Game 5 said that the Thunder took steps forward in their offense, and they felt like they had a really good process despite only putting up 92 points in that game. Well, they put up 116 tonight, so you have to imagine they were really building on that process that they felt like they had in Game 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, they shot the ball better tonight as a result of that. Didn't shoot the ball great, but they shot the ball better. But it's one of those things where it works hand in hand to some degree, where, you know, you start getting those three-pointers to fall, Paris. It just clears the lane a little bit. They're trying to close out to those shooters, and then you can pump fake them, you can go around them, and it just starts that blender over and over, and you can recycle it. And so, you know, that's just the way basketball works, as you know better than I do. It's just one of those things where when you play with that rhythm, you play with that flow, the ball's touching hands everywhere, you get harder and harder to guard. It's just a living, breathing thing, a basketball game. The Thunder played a great game tonight. They really did.
And it's a game full of variables that can go in either direction tonight, going in the direction of the Dallas Mavericks down the stretch. Heartbreaking for the Thunder and Thunder fans, of course, but take heart that this young Thunder team, they are motivated, they learn from every experience. And Royce, but before we sign off here, just one note to Thunder fans about the excitement they should have for this team and its future.
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of deep thinking to understand what this Thunder team has ahead of them. They are so far ahead of schedule. Yeah. And again, that's not really the consolation prize that anybody wants to hear. This team was a great team this year, #1 in the Western Conference, #1 net rating. This team was an excellent basketball team. And again, what they went through all season long, there should be a lot of appreciation for what they built upon. Mm-hmm. But the youth element of them, it is something sometimes you do have to pay your dues in the NBA. It is just a reality of the league. Again, talked about you're battling against 100 years of history to try to overcome that. But again, this is the youngest #1 seed, youngest team to ever win a playoff series. It doesn't feel great to have to kind of deal with that and deal with the loss. But Paris, what a great season this was.
It has been an incredible season. So impressive to watch this young Thunder team go. And it's been great to work with you all season long, Royce Young.
Likewise.
Great broadcast partner. And thank you all so much for tuning in. That wraps us up here inside of American Airlines Center and wraps up the Thunder's season. Once again, our final score, 117-116. For Royce Young, I'm Paris Lawson saying thank you so much for watching our post-game coverage during this series and saying thank you to all of the fans out there for watching and supporting your Oklahoma City Thunder all season long. And what a season it has been. With that, we say goodnight from downtown Dallas.